The totally redesigned Tesla Model 3 refresh just leaked, and allegedly, this is our first image at exactly what it's going to look like, and I think the internet is split on whether this is an upgrade or a bit of a downgrade. Tesla is planning to make 7 very big controversial changes to the refresh Model 3 and eventually the refresh Model Y, and they're going to be removing features, adding a few things, and some of you are going to love this, and well, some of you are going to absolutely hate it. In this video, I'm breaking down the top 7 controversial changes that Tesla is going to make to these new models. Let me tell you why owners are so upset, why the general Tesla community is not so excited about these changes, and why you might want to buy a Tesla right now before it's too late. And a big thanks to Masterworks for sponsoring this video. The current Tesla Model 3 and Model Y are some of the best-selling cars around the world, not just like in the EV space, but like in the general automotive space, going against the best of the best. Tesla is winning over and over again, and there are many reasons why that is. It's well-deserved. These cars have a very sleek design. They are packed with tech. People call them iPhones or iPads on wheels. I own a couple of them. I love them, and they're great and amazing in so many ways, but they do have a couple of flaws that need to be addressed. And many owners, rightfully so, now see these cars, both in look and functionality, as sort of being a little dated. I mean, believe it or not, the Model 3 launched all the way back 6 years ago in 2017, and the Model Y has been on the road now for 3 years, launching like right around the start of the pandemic back in 2020. And obviously a lot has changed since then, and Tesla's most popular cars are missing some pretty big features these days, especially for the price, and especially when you compare them to other, comparable priced EVs. They're missing like cooled ventilated seats, 360-degree cameras, cross-traffic alerts, heck, even some models don't come with floor mats, and owners are getting tired of making sacrifice after sacrifice just to drive a Tesla. They love Teslas, but there's time for a change to happen. The good news here, though, is that all of this is about to change, potentially in a good way and in a bad way. Tesla is planning a couple of significant changes for both the Model 3 and Model Y that will be the biggest update these models have ever gotten. But according to the info that is leaked out, not all owners are too excited about what's to come, because some of these planned changes are actually, like I mentioned before, gonna sort of be like downgrades to what we've got now. For example, one of the most controversial changes coming to Tesla's Project Highland, this is the refresh Model 3, that's the code name, gonna be coming to the Model Y as well, is a new steering wheel. Tesla is rumored to be removing the stalks that are flanking both sides of the steering wheel and replacing them with a new wheel that's got touch-sensitive buttons to control everything. So shifting from park to drive, engaging autopilot, turn signals, all that and more are going to be removed from physical controls and now become touch-sensitive buttons on the wheel. And as of right now, the specifics aren't known, but there are like 3 different scenarios that Tesla could sort of follow through. One is giving the new models a regular round wheel, but with touch-sensitive buttons, similar to what we've got on the Tesla Semi and the new Model S. So it looks like a regular steering wheel, but it does have a sort of touch-sensitive buttons. The other is introducing the yoke from the S and the X into the 3 and the Y, or including a hybrid that is sort of like a yoke crossed with a regular steering wheel, which could look something like this. This is in the latest version of the Cybertruck that we saw at Tesla's Investor Day a couple of weeks ago, and many are thinking this could be Tesla's new wheel that gives you sort of the yoke and a regular steering wheel, but again, removes the stalks and puts all those controls right into the wheel. Now, the possibility of the yoke coming to the 3 and the Y seems unlikely as of right now. I mean, it was really controversial on the S and the X, so controversial that in fact Tesla gave owners now another option to go with a regular wheel, so I don't think that's going to happen, but the other 2 options certainly do make a whole lot of sense. For whatever reason, Tesla is like dead set on removing as many physical buttons and switches and controls as possible in their cars, and it seemed like the stocks are have their days numbered because these will soon be gone in these new models. They're gonna again move all that functionality into the wheel, and I think this idea sounds cool, and I'm all for it. I haven't had enough time to really take a deep dive into the yoke, but in my limited time it was cool. But I know many owners are not happy about this. They hate the minimal interior as it is, and removing more of these and putting them into touch-sensitive buttons doesn't seem like all that great of a idea, especially since Tesla is relying on the smarts of the car to do things like auto wipers and to tell you if you should reverse or go forward, sort of with the automatic shifting on the S and the X. Not sure if it's ready for prime time, but like it or not, might be coming to the 3 and the Y very soon. Which is exactly why you may want to buy now rather than wait and sort of leave things to chance. And actually, generally speaking, now is a pretty good time for potential EV buyers. One is that recent Tesla price cuts make these cars more affordable than they've been in a long time. And also the lithium surplus is making EVs overall cheaper than ever. Lucky for you guys because, well, let's face it, that might be the only true deal we can find on the market this year. Energy prices, food prices, new car sticker prices, they're all through the roof these days and just keep going up. And even if you're making 6 figures nowadays, chances are there's nothing left over for savings after your expenses. And even if you can put some money away, inflation is eating into it as we speak. It's hard to get by, let alone even harder to get ahead. But luckily, there are always ways to try to get back what you should have had. And in the last year, the price of one luxury asset in particular has appreciated on average 29% at auctions, according to Barron's. Of course, I'm talking about contemporary art. And you might think of investing in art as being super exclusive. You have to have access to millions of dollars, have the right connections, but luckily that is not the case. One company has changed the game. You can now access this within minutes without needing that millions of dollars, thanks to this video's sponsor, Masterworks. Masterworks has paid out over $25 million in total to their investors last year, and that's not a one-off. Every Masterworks exit to date has returned a profit to investors like you. In fact, they sold another offering just since my last video at the end of March. That sale returned a 15.4% realized profit to investors, maybe even including some of you guys as well, after just 36 days. With nearly 700,000 users, Masterworks offerings have sold out in literally minutes. It's no surprise that the platform is super popular, and new users actually have to wait in a waitlist queue before they can get access. But luckily for you guys, I have partnered with Masterworks. I'm gonna let you skip that waitlist and get instant access right now by clicking my special link right down below. Now has never been a more important time to diversify your investing, and Masterworks makes this so simple, so easy. They have revolutionized this way of investing and have really made it super simple for you and also for me. If you guys want to learn more and check it out for yourself today, get instant access and skip that waitlist. Hit the link right down below to learn more and check out Masterworks for yourself today. Another big change that many owners are going to be sort of sad to see go, which I actually think might not be as controversial as many are making it up to be, but that would be the removal of the wood trim inside of the black interior option of the Model 3 and Model Y. Some people love this, some people absolutely hate it. It seems like when Tesla originally unveiled the Model 3, it was sort of a nice premium thing, made the car look a little bit more classy and more elegant, but these days, especially compared to other EVs on the road, it does sort of look a little dated. The current rumors now say Tesla is going to remove the wood with a non-woven fabric type material, maybe something similar to what's in the S and the X, maybe some kind of Alcantara thing, not sure just yet, but the wood should be removed now on the refreshed interior of the 3 and the Y. So good news if you hated it, bad news if you liked it, but that is another change coming to these cars. And I'm curious for you guys watching the video, let me know your thoughts down below on the interior of the Model 3 and Model Y. It's obviously very boldly minimal, it's elegant in a lot of ways, it's packed with that big touchscreen, but do you think it looks dated, especially if you look at the competition, Rivian, Ioniq 5, Mercedes EQS, Lucid, a lot of these have more screens, more ambient lights. Do you think the Tesla interior looks dated or not? Do you think this minimal approach is helping Tesla or hurting them? Let me know your thoughts on the interior down below. As for that other interior change, one of the other long-standing rumors we've heard for a while is that Tesla is looking to make changes to the screens inside of the Model 3 and Model Y, specifically adding a second screen. We had seen leaks months and months ago that the Model Y had a port dedicated for a second screen that wasn't being used. We've heard from Reuters on this report that Tesla is making infotainment system upgrades. Not exactly sure what that is, but one theory is that Tesla could add a second display. Of course, the big question is that when we say second display, what kind of display are we talking about? Are we talking about a heads-up display? Are we talking about a sort of instrument display like what's in the S and the X, sort of a screen to see your speedometer, autopilot info, and stuff like that? Or are we talking about a rear screen that is just for the rear passengers, which is nice to have, but isn't all that functional? And also, is it going to be a standard edition or not? As much as I'd love to see a second screen in the front of the car, I definitely could see Tesla, probably rightfully so, keeping this reserved for just the higher end Model S and Model X. So a rear screen makes the most sense to me. But also, does this become standard like it would be in the X and the Cybertruck and the S? Or is this an add-on, a way for Tesla to make some more money in the 3 and the Y? We don't know. But a second screen may be coming to these cars. Hopefully it's something in the front, probably something in the back. And we don't know if it's going to be coming standard or not. But a second screen is something to definitely look out for and should change a little bit more of the interior in the 3 and Y. Okay, let's move from the inside to the outside and talk about the design. Now, as of recording this video, we've just gotten some spy shots of these refreshed Model 3s driving around the San Francisco Bay Area, and we haven't gotten a good look at exactly what is to change, but that might have actually just changed. According to an anonymous post on Reddit, this photo right here is allegedly, take that with a grain of salt, the refreshed Model 3 that we can see sort of here in photo form, and there's a lot of interesting things we can see. First, you'll probably notice is the headlights are strikingly different, sort of like a mix of what we have right now with the Model 3, but looks much, much more similar to the Model S and Model X. A little bit more aggressive, a little bit sleeker, definitely in line with rumors that we would be getting some changes to the headlights. That is allegedly what this new model has. Also, interestingly enough, no front emblem here for the Tesla logo. The Tesla T has been a big part of the design of these cars for many years and is not supposed to be here on the refresh, again, according to this image. Other things here are sort of hard to tell. Wheels might look a little bit different, but they look sort of the same. Again, black paint color offering here. You know, it's sort of, if we kind of look a little bit inside here, we can see it looks like some things change with the wheel. We see the screen that looks a little bit changed. Also, what it does look like is that we don't have the wood obviously in there anymore. There does look to appear to be some different material, which again would be in line with what we're seeing with the rumors. Hard to tell what's going on with the front-facing cameras there, if there's anything with hardware 4, just really hard to tell with this photo. And we see it plugged in the back, and that's sort of it. It's really hard to tell exactly if this is legit or not, but I guess just should point out again, might be fake, but this is our best look yet at the redesigned, refreshed Model 3. Let me know your thoughts on this down below. Do you think this looks good? Do you think it looks bad? Do you think it's real? Look, this might be the real thing and should be coming in just a couple of months. Moving on from that, one of the other controversial changes coming to the Model 3 and Model Y, or maybe lack thereof, is no new color option. Oddly enough, Tesla just introduced a beautiful Ultra Red for the Model S and Model X here in North America. We've got the really beautiful Quicksilver and Midnight Cherry in European, and now I believe it's in Taiwan as well, different markets, international markets around the world, but no new colors for the Model 3 and Model Y. We have not seen a color change for these cars, I believe, basically since these cars launched. It's been years since Tesla has changed anything. What we thought was that Tesla was changing out colors around the world, and they would eventually bring them to the US so that we would sort of replace the ones we got right now. So Midnight Cherry would replace Multicoat Red, Quicksilver would replace the Midnight Silver Metallic, but that is not how things are looking right now. It seems like the colors will not change for these cars, which means that even when the designs tweak, yet again, you're only going to have the standard color options we've got right now. That seems like sort of a missed opportunity for me, especially if Tesla's going to go through the trouble of retooling production lines and bringing them down and, you know, fixing new things and bringing it back up. To not have a new paint offering sort of seems crazy, especially since we've got some beautiful new colors around the world. But as of right now, no new colors are expected for the 3 and the Y, which is definitely sort of a bummer. One of the other big additions to the Model 3 and Model Y refresh is going to be the introduction of hardware 4 on these cars. This is going to be big for a couple of big reasons. One is that it should add more physical cameras around the car, so the car has less blind spots, better vantage point, better for sort of looking at everything. And also these cameras should be higher resolution. So not only is the autopilot full self-driving system going to have like more raw data to work with, but hopefully your Sentry mode recordings and your dash cam clips also have higher quality cameras that are able to capture more details, capture license plates of hit and runs and stuff like that. Should be a really nice system to see on these cars, more cameras in the front and the back specifically, and will be really nice and hopefully give your car a bit more functionality. And while we're hearing hardware 4 should include a new HD Phoenix radar system, I'm sorry to say that ultrasonic sensors do not look like they're all making their return. There's been a lot of discussion about this, especially since the latest update with Park Assist that relies on the vision system isn't actually all that reliable. Many have wondered if there was a retrofit option or if Tesla would allow owners to maybe opt for an ultrasonic equipped Tesla, but that doesn't seem to be the case. So for better or worse, very controversial, Tesla continues to go all in on Tesla Vision, and that means that basic features like Park Assist are going to rely heavily, basically entirely, on those cameras. So if you get a new Tesla right now, especially as we move into these refresh models, if you want those changes, you're going to have to be all in on the vision system because ultrasonic sensors will not be making their return. And then something else that is always sort of a moving target that is on the horizon that could change, could not change, it's sort of a different thing every day, and that is pricing and availability. As I'm recording this video, Tesla actually just dropped prices not so long ago, so these cars are now more affordable than they've been before, but those federal tax incentives are always changing, and they may change by the time the Model 3 and Model Y come out with their refresh look. So pricing is always a little bit up in the air. And then what's also controversial is that as of right now, you cannot actually order a long-range Model 3. You can order all different variations of the Model Y, including the all-wheel drive model, but you cannot order the long-range Model 3. Tesla said they were removing this last year to bring it back in 2023. We're now into almost May of 2023, and this car is still not back to custom order, and it has been very upsetting for many owners. You sort of have to look in existing inventory, see what you can find, but you cannot custom order this car. Hopefully that changes, but again, another change that Tesla's made that many owners are simply not happy about. So I'm curious, guys, what are your thoughts on the Model 3 and Model Y changes? Do you think these cars are going to be an upgrade? They're going to be a downgrade? Looks like the big stuff again, hardware 4, maybe some facelift stuff. Maybe we'll get some new interior stuff. It seems it's going to be nice. Like I'm all in to see what it's going to look like, but it might not be the biggest refresh we were actually expecting. And your thoughts on the design? Do you think Tesla still has great designed cars? Do you think they're looking a little dated? Let me know your thoughts on this stuff down below. As always, I appreciate you guys watching. Thank you so much for your support. I'm Robert Rosenfeld, and I'll see you all in the next one.